as I mentioned, by this point you should have completed one full motif, and we will partially complete the next motif and join it to this one at this point in time. I'm going to be following along with this chart, which can be found in the link provided right down there in the video description box below. This large chart right here represents this motif. And these partial charts along these edges represent the third round of the motifs we want to join to this one. What I'm going to do today is I've partially completed a motif up through round 3, and I'm going to join this motif to this one, following along with this portion. So where I am right now in this process, I've just completed this double crochet. And so that's where I will place my hook. And I am going to go ahead and go on to my next double crochet, which is my 7th double crochet of my corner. And as I complete my picot, that's when I will join it to the corresponding picot of my finished motif. The first thing I'm going to do is get this double crochet complete. So let's go ahead and do that. And now let's work our picot. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I have a dot right here, and that dot, there's an arrow pointing to this motif. So I've chained 1. I'm going to grab my finished motif, and with wrong sides together, okay, you can see I have wrong sides together, I will stick my hook directly in to the center of that picot of the finished motif I've already done. Yarn over my hook, pull up a loop, pull that loop through the loop on my hook, and that is joined. Now I have to go ahead and chain 1, just as it's represented right here in the chart, and I will join with a slip stitch to finish off my picot. So I've chained 1, I'm going to come here to the top of my 7th double crochet for my corner and join with my slip stitch, just like I would my normal picot, okay? Now I will go ahead and finish off this corner. So I have to do 6 double crochets down this edge. Once I get down to the edge here, I will work the next section, and you'll see that's where there is another join that needs to happen. So let's get down here. Let's see, I've done this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do one more. And then that's there. So skip 2, come into this one, do my single crochet, just like I did on the first one. Now I can see down here in the chart that it's not simply 7 chain stitches, right? I have 1, 2, 3 chains, but you can see that symbol right there is a single crochet, and it's pointing to this chain 7 that was completed on the first one. So let's go ahead and do our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, with right side or wrong sides together. Once again, wrong sides together. I will take my hook, go into that chain 7 space on the corresponding motif, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. So I joined with a single crochet. If I look at my chart again, it says to do 3 chains, and then I would finish off just like I normally would on this particular portion of the motif. So I come back down here, I do a single crochet into that same stitch with that single crochet, and I move along to the next corner. So I'm over here, and this corner is going to be completed just like the last one. So I start off with my 6 doubles, and my 7th double is the one that has the picot. So here we go. I'm doing my double crochet. Now I'm ready to do my picot. As I come down here and I can look, right here is where my picot is going to go, and you can see I have a chain 1, and then there's that dot again for a slip stitch. Now this arrow is pointing over there across the way, and the reality of the matter is it doesn't matter if I join it into that one or join it into that one or join it into that one. As long as these 4 corners come together and meet as one, that will work. So for the example here, I'm going to go ahead and join to this square just like we've been going along. And then maybe when I get to that one, instead of joining into this one, I'll join over here to this. You see how that goes? The point here is that these 4 points of the corners of the picots need to come together. So I'm at the point where I will work a picot. So I will do my chain 1. And with my wrong side facing me again, I'm simply going to go into that picot that is corresponding the other motif, do my slip stitch, chain 1, and then working back to finish my picot, I'm going to do my slip stitch into the top of that 7th double crochet there, and then I complete my square. So I will do my 6 double crochets down this edge. And then I am to the end of my square and I've joined these 2 squares together and I am on my way to make a wonderful garment, or if I wanted to use this and work it into a blanket, I could do that. I could do anything I want. Once I work my 6 double crochets down the opposite edge, I go ahead and finish off my work with a slip stitch into that single crochet that I started off with. And when I do that, I go ahead and I finish off. So I will chain 1. I like to chain 1 before I finish off. Cut my yarn. I always leave 4 to 6 inches so that way I can weave in my ends and give it a nice tug. I'm going to move this chart out of the way. And as I set this down, you can see that without any seaming, my 2 squares are already joined together. And as I go along and create more squares, all I need to do is when I get to my 3rd round, just make sure it's to a point where it can also be joined. So I'm at a joining point here, so I could join it to this picot. When this chain 7 is made, it'll join to this one with the single crochet. When this chain 7 is made, that picot will join to this one, so on and so forth. Now you know how to do the join as you go motifs for the Marley Bird Granny Square cardigan. The next question is going to be, how many motifs do I need to do? And if you remember from watching the measurements and sizing video, you know that depending on what size you're making, you either are going to make some 6 deep and 11 wide, or 7 deep and 13 wide, or 8 deep and 15 wide. It all depends on how many squares you need to have in order to get the size you want. Having said that, make sure you have enough yarn for your completed project and make sure it's all the same dye lot, because you really don't want to get halfway through and have to change dye lots and then half of your garment is not going to look the same. The other thing is, make it to the size you think you might need, maybe a little bit smaller, and then I will show you in the next video how we can pin the garment to make sure it is actually the size you want it to be, and you can decide if you need to add more squares or eliminate more squares or make adjustments along the way. Okay, so this is your big homework. This is a lot of homework. There are a lot of squares. Just take your time, have fun, and most importantly, make sure each square is the same size. And if you want a little tip, weave in your ends as you go. Don't wait till the very end to weave in your ends. Take the time to weave them in as you're making each square. You will be a much happier person. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you again next week. Don't forget to join the Facebook group for the Crochet Along. There's a bunch of wonderful people in there all ready to offer you encouragement and help and enthusiasm. And as all of you are making your squares, it's going to be exciting to see all of the colors come together with this wonderful Red Heart Unforgettable yarn. I'm really enjoying this adventure together, and I hope you are too. I'll see you soon. I'm Marley Bird, proud spokesperson for Red Heart Yarns. Bye guys.